Hello and welcome to Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. This is a player ratings video by me, Louis, coming to you off the back of a very disappointing opening day. 3-0 home defeat to Brighton. Really disappointing performance. It's been difficult to try and not be overly harsh with this. As I say, I'm usually quite a generous marker as well, and after that, I mean, that second half was one of the worst performances I think I've seen at Goodison in a long time. Far too many mistakes by individuals. I actually thought that we started the game quite well. The atmosphere was, it was bouncing, and good bits of link up in the final third. But you'd always just felt like, Brighton were going to create chances. We looked so shaky defensively throughout the 90, and obviously that's shown once they got the first. You still think we've got a chance, and then just the second half, so many mistakes, and obviously pressure told in the end, and the red card, of course, which we'll come on to, certainly didn't help. And as I say, a tough start to what's going to be a tough season anyway, and none of us needed that this afternoon. As I say, remember, this is just my opinion. I'm sure, as I say, if you disagree, you agree, let us know. But it is, as I say, it's just my opinion. And I certainly didn't enjoy this afternoon, so I hope the players don't listen to these marks. But we'll start off with one that I thought was man of the match for me, Jordan Pickford. I'll give him a 7, because I thought, as much as you lose 3-0 at home to Brighton, you can't really be giving people 7 out of 10. For me today, I thought he was, it could have been a cricket score, it could have been 6, 7, 8. Only really made 2 saves and note in the second half, but sweeping up behind an incredibly slow back line that we're getting done time and time again. He prevented us from an even more embarrassing afternoon. I thought his distribution was okay, but as I say, his command of his box and some saves and sweeping mainly, he was the bright point really of this afternoon. We all know how good he is, and as I say, he didn't deserve to be on the end or a part of a performance like that, because I didn't think he was bad at all. So he gets a 7. Very big difference into the next one. Ashley Young, I'm giving him a 2. I actually thought first half against Matoma, I thought he wasn't getting the better of him, but he was managing him well enough. A few decent tackles. He seemed to be up for it. I know Matoma scored. I'd need to see that back where he was, because he looked miles off him. But as I say, it didn't feel like he was having too poor a game. But with Young that he's got an error in him like that. I think for me personally, I don't think he's as bad usually as people make out. That's my opinion on him. But he can't be starting games in the Premier League for Everton. He's 39 years old. The fact that we haven't recruited a right back this window is gross negligence, really. It's shocking from a recruitment point of view. We've got young Patterson, who's unproven and seems to be injury prone, unfortunately, and then Seamus, who's injury prone and 36, I think, in October, and then a 39-year-old who we know as he's made some high profile errors for Everton in the past. And as I say, I don't want to come on here and just slate people, but for someone of his age, the error that he made was so poor from an experience point of view, trying to chest it down, facing his own goal under pressure as the last man. It's not something that you expect from a 39-year-old. It's not something that you expect from Young either, I don't think. And as I say, it was really disappointing, because at that point we just subbed on and die. You're thinking, well, it's still 2-0. We got a creative player in the 10. Maybe we can spark a comeback, and 3 minutes later that happened. So really frustrating, and 2 out of 10 for me. Tarkowski, I thought, was again poor game today, especially by his standards. It's difficult when you're surrounded by others in the back line who are having a poor game, but I thought obviously the third goal, he's gone out of position to try and win it back. You can kind of excuse that because chasing the game, just trying to win the ball back, and obviously got caught out. But the second goal between him and Keane, failing to press Welbeck under with the time that he had and the space, was not something you come to expect from Tarkowski. Got away with 2 in the first half, losing possession as well, and yeah, rare poor performance from him. So still some big blocks like he always has, and good pieces of defending, the physical side of it. But yeah, not as great as performance for Everton this afternoon. Michael Keane next. Again, same as Young, I'll give him a 2. I think it was probably the worst I've seen Keane play for Everton today. Again, like Young, I don't always think he's as bad as people make out, but this afternoon I thought he really got torn apart by Welbeck, and the sooner Branthwaite's back in the fold, the better. As I say, hopefully for Keane, I always wish him the best, like, because again I think he gets a lot of stick unwarranted sometimes, but I think anything coming his way this afternoon is fair game really, because it was a tough watch. So a 2 out of 10 for me. Mikalenko a 3. Uncharacteristic really. I've never seen a winger get the better of him as much as that lad did in the first half. Obviously got caught out for the first goal. I don't think he's up to speed as much as possible. Obviously he's had a couple of bad injuries over the past few months, and it's shown first half. I thought second half he was a lot more solid, but I'd say in possession not good enough either. And a tough afternoon for him. So a 3 from me. Then coming to the bright point for this afternoon, Tim from Villa. Again, not saying his name, can't not even going to try. But Tim was fantastic. First half particularly. Second half, I think, as obviously trying to chase the game, trying to make things happen. Maybe doing things that he wouldn't usually do, but that can be excused when you're getting beat at home. We're trying to win the ball back. But any mistake he made, he wouldn't sulk. He'd get straight back in and win it too. But first half, he was immense. The way that he keeps the ball, keeps it simple, and out of possession as well, winning the ball back in a good shape as well. It's not like he's running around like headless chicken in there. He's really disciplined in his role, but he offers you something going forward as well, and he moves it quick. And as I say, a really good debut for him. So I'll give him a 6.5 purely just towards the end of the game, as I say, which was tough for him, to be fair. As obviously when you're surrounded by people who don't want the ball, and to be frank, I don't think we're running as much as he was either. But a 6.5, and certainly he won't be getting any criticism after that performance, because he gave it a right go, and he was outstanding first half particularly. So it's pleasing to see that we've made a good signing, and hopefully he can carry that on. And I thought we really missed James Garner today as well, because Garner, the next one up, I'll give him a 2. I thought, again, like Keane, I think probably the worst I've seen him play for Everton. Really poor. Didn't really keep the ball well enough, didn't win it back enough to legislate for the amount of times that he lost it. And the sooner that we can get Jimmy Garner back fit, I think the better, based off today's performance. So a 2 out of 10 for me. Tell you what, this is a glum video, this. I'm sorry to the people who are watching this one, because it's not going to get much better. Dwight McNeil, I'll give him a 4. Again, you know what you're getting from McNeil. He always works hard. He put in a few decent balls first half, but as I say, to be fair to the whole team, once Young got sent off, there was no even like sign of attacking, because Brighton just kept the ball that well, and we couldn't get it off them. But McNeil, he's always working hard, and as I say, it wasn't his best performance. He's very lucky that he was offside in the first half, with his double miss. But as I say, a 4 out of 10 wasn't really his day. But I don't think you can ever fault McNeil's work rate. Similar with Harrison. I actually thought Harrison was probably Everton's best attacker on the day. Obviously subbed off before the main problems happened, the 3, and then could have been the 4. But as I say, he worked really hard. Couple of bright sparks in the first half. He created along with Tim, he created the penalty appeal as well. Forced a good save from Steele early doors, and was a little bit of a threat, as I say. Didn't set the world alight, but an okay performance. So right down the middle for me. So I'll give Jack Harrison a 5. Doucouré a 2. We'll leave it there. DCL a 3. I actually thought first half Calvert-Lewin's link up, I thought he looked really sharp. I thought he was causing dunk problems. And then second half he couldn't get to grips with the game, as we were chasing it, and The penalty itself, I, for me in that scenario, even if you feel contact, I think you've got to shoot. As I say, only he knows, but I'm just really disappointing that a number nine's not getting his shot off there, regardless of whether he thinks it's a penalty or not. So a 3 out of 10 for me for Dom. And then the subs and Dye. I felt sorry for him. Dye come on after a poor performance from Doucouré. 2-0 down, you're thinking, well, if he can create a goal here, he's in the team next week, and if he gets another, with comeback draw, he's the hero. And in the end, then 3 minutes later, Young gets sent off, and he's doing doggies, trying to get back and defend for the rest of his time on the pitch. So you can't really rate him in the end. Unfortunately, a few nice touches, but worked hard too, which obviously always helps. But yeah, a 5 because you got to go right down the middle because unfortunately we didn't get to see him due to the red card, and the change of shape that Dyche then had to come in with, and then Beto 3. I can't read my handwriting. I forgot he'd come on. If I'm being honest, he just offered nothing. And then Holgate a 2. Again, less said about that the better. But yeah, as I say, a tough one to grade, really. Tough one to not be too harsh. I hope I haven't been too harsh because obviously, they're just doing the best. They're just trying to work hard and get results. But today was really, really poor. And I'd say the worst thing for me, I think, was towards the end was I'm not sure if everyone was trying their hardest, which is difficult to throw at any team, but it was very lacklustre towards the end, and you can only expect Brighton to keep the ball in that scenario, and they're a good footballing side. You're going to find it difficult to win the ball back, but I think a few their heads really went down, and we found it so tough towards the end. So we've got to go to Tottenham next, but we've just got to put it behind us. As I say, think about the first 20 minutes, not the rest of the game, and take the bright points in Tim and Jordan's performances, and hopefully Jared's back soon, hopefully Jimmy Garner's back, and hopefully we can get a right back through the door, and we can improve on what was a wretched display at Goodison Park. So thank you for listening. As I say, a difficult one to do today. I hope I haven't got too much wrong. But yeah, up the toffees, and thanks for listening.